Renshaw here, and today I'm going to be reviewing Baby Driver, directed by Edgar Wright. This movie's basically about a kid, Baby, played by Ansel Elgort, who he basically plays a getaway driver who works for this guy named Doc, played by Kevin Spacey. Um, and so he's a getaway driver for Doc, and he meets this girl along the way, and basically the movie's about him being a getaway driver and trying to figure out how to get a way to get out of his life of crime and try to figure out a way to live happily ever after with this girl. For the most part, this movie is definitely pretty good. Starts you off fast and furious right off the bat with a nice little opening chase scene. It actually reminded me a lot like I was playing Grand Theft Auto. So that's pretty good. It doesn't really slow down at all. It does have a little bit of a slower middle, but when I say slower, I mean it's slower in terms of comparison to the rest of the movie, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's slow. I guess the biggest thing to talk about for this movie is the music, which I thought was interesting and worked really well. They don't really when you watch the trailer for a movie like this and when going into the theater, it's kind of a movie you would expect just to have a bunch of newer pop songs, just basically the way the movie was advertised, and kind of, I'm guessing, and knowing who their target audience probably was, that's the type of music I would have expected. But they didn't go that way. They didn't use pop music at all. They used a lot of older, more classical stuff, which was interesting and also ultimately successful. I guess something else noteworthy was the performance by Baby, again played by Ansel Elgort. I thought he did a really good job. I thought his character was probably a character that is a little bit difficult to have to play because he kind of has to be this guy that's shy and timid in his personal life, but also pretty aggressive while he's behind the wheel doing these getaway drives. And then the supporting cast is great. The supporting cast is great, but also the performances are really good, as you would expect, with people like Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, and Jon Hamm. Although Jon Bernthal was in it for a little bit, I was a little disappointed he didn't have a bigger role, but again, that's a small complaint. In terms of criticisms, I don't really have any criticism at all. Most of them are just nitpicks. One being that, like I said, it's so fast-paced in the beginning that when it does slow down, it definitely kind of feels a little bit duller in comparison to the rest of the movie, but at the same time, they probably had to slow it down at some point, or the movie wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense. And then, actually, I think that's pretty much it. There's a couple other small things, but if there's a couple other small criticisms I have, some things that didn't seem necessarily believable, but I think they work okay for a movie like this. It doesn't take itself so seriously and just is a good, fun summer movie. And I guess to close things out, I would just say that I would definitely recommend this movie if you're just looking for a good, fun summer movie to watch, just to sit back for a few hours and have a good time and not really have to think about a whole lot. It's definitely worth watching for that, and I'm going to say, as score-wise, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. And I think that's going to pretty much wrap things up for today. Thanks again for watching, and hope you guys have a great day. Take care.